Good morning, friends. So it is officially PTO time. I have the rest of the week off. It is July 1st, I think. Um, yeah, if there's no June 31st, it is definitely July 1st. And we are going to start this video off with a garden tour. The garden is doing so well. We've had a little bit of rain, which is exciting because every time it rains, I feel like the garden explodes just a little bit more. And it is currently about 7 a.m. My husband took our son to daycare so I could film this video for you guys. And I'm going to grab all of our things and we're going to get started. The glow. Can we just appreciate the sun? The sunrises here are so gorgeous. It's honestly insane. I do want to preface that I have been sick for the past few days, so my voice sounds like really nasally, and I'm very sorry about it. And if I start coughing, I'm going to edit those out, but just wanted to preface in advance why I sound like this. Nice. So I'm going to insert some previous footage. We harvested a couple of our radishes. We harvested our red radishes and our icicle radishes. I thought they were daikons, but I saw the seed packet and they said icicle, and I think that's completely different. They taste a little different, and they're not as large as daikons. So we harvested some of that, and then, like I said, we harvested our zucchini. So I'll put those clips in here. And we've been harvesting strawberries just about every day. We come out here, we pick like a handful of strawberries, and then my son devours them. It's been so fun. Oh, we also went blueberry picking, which I'll put footage of. I took my son blueberry picking last Saturday, I believe, and he had a total blast. And he's only 2. So if you want to do something fun with your kids, I highly recommend blueberry picking. He had so much fun. And he got Get these ones. Those ones? So for the garden tour, we're going to start with the strawberries. The strawberries look so good, and they are putting out runners, which is exactly what we want. We want this whole bed next year filled with strawberries. But for their first year, we've been getting fruit every day, and it's been amazing. My son loves these strawberries. They taste delicious. But moving on to this bed is where it gets a little bit wild. So our sweet alyssum looks really good, but our purple bell peppers are stunted. They just aren't doing much. They're not dead, they're just not growing. But our carrots are doing good in this bed, and we have a ton of icicle radishes growing. I also planted some more red radishes in this bed, so hopefully we get a good harvest of that. And actually, my plan for this bed is to flip it for fall. So this bed will be one of the first to get flipped, probably mid-August. We might have to sacrifice some of the pepper plants, but I think it'll be fine because most of them are pretty stunted. And we have Anaheim chilies that I think will do okay and hot lemon drop, but we'll just get as much as those as we can before we flip the bed. And then for fall, I believe this will be our brassica bed. But the marigold looks really good. The beans are doing good, besides the ones that got eaten by, I think, the deer or maybe the bunny. This is a shorter bed, so I wouldn't be surprised if like a bunny hopped in here and was munching on our beans. But it was probably a bed because we're next to a field. We're next to a hay field, actually. And then over here, you can see like this empty patch is where the beans were. Carrots are looking good, like I said, and the peppers themselves over in this corner aren't doing too bad. So pretty excited about that. Over here, we have our Texas 1015 onions, and they are just not doing as good as our Spanish onions, which you see on the other side. I'm I've been reading up on long day, short day, indeterminate, or intermediate onions. And I just don't think these onions are good for our climate, even though when I bought them from the market, they said they would grow really well here. So neither here nor there. We'll see what happens when we harvest, but these Spanish onions are doing really, really good. So very excited about that. We also have more carrots in this bed, which will be exciting. It's good to see them germinating and getting really leafy. And I have a lot of peppers in the back. So in this bed, we have yellow bell peppers, I believe. We also have early girl jalapeno. We have Mad Hatter, peppers, sweet banana, another jalapeno, king of the bell pepper, and Anaheim's. The early girl jalapeno is doing really good. That's this one right here. The yellow bell, which I had shown you guys, is doing good. The Mad Hatters might need a little bit of fertilizer. Oh, and these are those lemon drops that I forgot to show you when we were looking at the other bed, as well as our cayenne slips. Look at these guys. They're so long, so exciting. And you can really see the icicle radish back here popping up. But back to the other bed. This is our Anaheim chili pepper. And look how big it is, guys. It's freaking huge. Like, just look at this. What a showstopper. We're having a party this weekend, and if anyone walks the garden, I hope they take a moment to look at how big these freaking peppers are because they're massive. They're huge. Also, I am doing a voiceover for this because I just could not stop coughing when I was doing the video. And if you can tell, my voice is still very like hoarse. So I apologize in advance, but these are the Mad Hatters. Excited to see what those actually taste like. And then in our flower bed, we have our dahlias popping, and these are so beautiful. So I have two versions of these, and I don't know what the others will be yet. But my favorite is this little like pink lemonade dahlia. It's just so cute. Like she's just beautiful. And she turned out really good. She was frostbit. I gave her a nice haircut, and look at her. She's a huge bush. Our zinnias are popping up. And then this empty patch here that was supposed to be carnation, we didn't get any germination. So I am going to fill those. But moving on to our black crim tomatoes, those are doing good. So I have three black crims right here. And in this bed, we had a whole bunch of radishes that we harvested. And we ended up using those for stew. They were delicious. Yep, so these are where the radishes were. But then we also have our orange bell peppers, and those are starting to put on cute little bells. We have a couple of beans in random places and some patio tomatoes. Both our patios tomatoes are putting on tomatoes, so that's exciting. And our black cherries over here, and they are putting on tomatoes as well. So super excited about that. Plus, can we just appreciate how beautiful the safari marigold is? And another patio tomato. And then this is our gypsy sweet pepper. We only have one of her, but she's doing so good. So I kind of wish we had more. So that's enough of that bed. Moving on, we have this bed here. This bed is another hodgepodge. So this is our beef steak tomato. It was originally on a stake, but it wasn't being supported well enough, so I moved it to the square cage. And I actually really like the square cage. And then we have a tiny little bean patch over here, but I think they might be getting stunted by the marigolds. Y'all let me know. Is that pheromone released by a marigold truly going to stunt my beans? Because that's kind of what it looks like. Cucumbers are climbing though. Like, look at this fella. Ah, doing so good. I'm so excited about the cucumbers. And then our Roma tomatoes are putting on Romas. So that's exciting. This one was always doing really well, but even this one, which was not doing well in the beginning, has started to put on a lot of flowers and a lot of fruit. We have another bean patch over here and some bean pods as well. And behind these beans, we have some cucumbers. So again, super excited about the beans and the cucumbers. And we have some pole beans in here. And I've succession planted my cucumbers, so they should come in at different times. The pumpkin patch is looking amazing though. So we have jack-o'-lantern pumpkins, and then back there we have mini pumpkins and pole beans, and it's looking like a jungle, which is what we love to see. I am waiting for the mini pumpkins to get tall enough where I can latch them onto the trellis. Same for the pole beans, just waiting for it to get tall enough. And then, yeah, this is our biggest mini pumpkin, but she's just not big enough to latch on to the trellis yet. She is trying to strangle our black cherry tomato that we decapitated, which now looks like a little bush. Like, look at this thing, guys. This thing was a nub, a decapitated nub, and it's huge. And then our big mama is being a big mama. She's doing great. She's putting on a lot of tomatoes for us. The Amish paste tomato is doing good. Like, look at her. And then our brandy wine has really shot up, put on a ton of flowers, but no fruit yet. So we're just watching her. We'll see what she does, but she seems to be very happy. Like, look how much she's grown. She just looks so beautiful. The garden just looks really good, guys, and I'm so, so excited about it. These are our Space Master cucumbers, and I was reading that you could hand pollinate them, but the flowers are so small and the bushes just so kind of weird that I'm hoping the ants will pollinate if the bees don't get to it. And then randomly, we have like two pole beans in here. So I don't know how that happened, but they definitely won't have any trellis support. And that brings us to our last bed. These are super sweet 100 tomatoes, and they have a ton of flowers. So I think we should get a ton of tomatoes off of them. They also have a ton of fruit growing on them, so I'm very excited. Then we have another bean patch. You guys can tell if I had space, I put beans. Then we have yellow squash here. I think this is the yellow straight neck squash. And then our Space Master cucumber, I showed you, or not cucumber, sorry, our green machine zucchini. I showed you guys the zucchini we harvested from this plant, and it was so delicious. And then we have more icicle radishes growing in the middle, which we'll harvest soon to give the zucchini more space to grow. And then back here we have our Italian iced tomatoes, which are doing really, really good. They have a ton of flowers on them, but we're even starting to get some fruit. At first, I thought it was just one fruit, but no, no, no. There is so much more, guys.
Okay, same day, a few hours later, I showed you guys the garden tour. We did a bit of garden chores. We weeded, we cut off some dead leaves and just made it all look nice and tidy. And then I went in, I took a shower because it was like gross and muggy. And now I'm going to show you the rest of the garden. So our border garden, as well as the peach trees and the blueberries. And it's July 1st, so I just want to give like a good picture of what everything looks like in July. And then we're going to go to lunch with some of our friends, so that's super exciting.
Now the blueberries are doing great. So these are first year blueberries. This is a high bushel blueberry. It is a 1 gallon, I believe, is when I got it. I know you're supposed to up pot and gradually grow the root ball, but I just went ahead and put it in the 25-gallon pot with the pine bark to help keep that pH low. And then I've been giving it a pH fertilizer or an acid-loving plant fertilizer. So I have two of those, but then I also have two pink lemonades. The pink lemonades were 3 gallons. They had fruit on them when we got them, and we probably got like a handful of pink lemonade blueberries off of these bushes, and they were delicious. So really excited about these four, hoping to get some more in the fall. So over here we have our peach trees. If you remember, this is one of the first things I planted when we moved to the new house. This is our dwarf harvester peach tree, and she is doing really good. She did lose a limb, but that's okay. She's got a ton of new growth. She also has some sap coming out. So I guess she got some damage, maybe in like one of the bad hailstorms that we had, but she's doing good. And our white lady peach tree, which I'm about to show you, here she is. She is also doing really well with a ton of new leaves. So I'm just so thrilled about both of these. So after lunch, we went to the grocery store to pick up groceries for the party we're having this weekend. And I found these zinnias on sale. So these were $6.99 for both pots, and they came with about three zinnias each. And I thought they would be perfect for filling this empty space and just bringing more color and more flowers to our flower bed. So I'm just planting these. I do have a root fertilizer, so like a root and grow, and then also a bloom fertilizer since they already have buds and flowers. And I watered them in real well. Right now it's about 5:15, 5:30, I would say. So it was still pretty warm outside, but it was starting to cool off and there was a nice breeze. But just look how beautiful this looks. So I'm very happy about this. I also found this black-eyed Susan, and because she is a perennial, I wanted to put her in our border garden. And we have a clay soil in the border garden, and then we also have this like rock border, but I think she'll do fine. I heard black-eyed Susans were pretty hardy, so I think she'll be just fine right here, and she looks really, really beautiful. I also picked up some peaches and blueberries. So, yeah, I think that's the end of the vlog.
So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.